Yeah, I took that diamond powder, but now I'm feeling absolutely schlumped.
Word. We're live.
Welcome to the Joint Effort Podcast, the day after 420. You know what I'm saying? Frickety fry from the day still. I hope everybody out there had an amazing day, was blazing up on some gas, not no grass. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it'd be a sad day if 420 you smoking on some trash. You know, hey, better been saving your pocket some money too. It's been a lot of amazing deals out here. You know what I'm saying? On some
Yeah.
amazing products.
Yeah.
But I hope everybody out there is having an amazing Sunday. It's the Joint Effort Podcast. As
sure.
always, finna get it kicking.
I mean, thank God for 420. You know, because my 420 was definitely ran by Jay Liddy's and King Palm. Jay Liddy's, I had the purple Lambo OG. I didn't even get through the whole eighth. I still got the last little nug for today's little start of today, I guess.
Strain.
Right? It was a very solid. I love the fact that his black label jar deals, I think I'm going to kind of keep my eyes on them because not worried about trying to get the highest THC percentage anymore like the market was pushing him. Instead, he's just like, this is the best THCA flower. And it's working pretty good because I tried to start my 420. I had this 5-gram King Palm from some other company that we don't like to mention so much anymore. And I was just like, wow, this is like a whole ass cigar. Might as well spark this. It's finally 420. Right. It tasted so bad on the first like 4 or 5 drags. I was just like, bro, first of all, you can't put 17 strains together. The terps will clash too much. You can't just put all your leftovers. It just it won't taste right. It won't taste right. Second of all, like at 5 grams, if you're gonna put mid, put the mid that doesn't have a very pungent flavor. Because once you get through those first few drags and the taste starts to compound, it was disgusting, guys. Basically, if you see a 5-gram THCA cigar on a THCA vendor's website, I don't even have to say the name, bro. I don't think many people even make this product. Don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Take it yourself, dog. It is not that hard, bro.
No, absolutely it's not. I feel you. Jay Liddy definitely powered my 420. I got a little bit of his raspberry lemonade and peanut butter breath left, so I've combined them, and I'm going to call it Raspbutter Lemon Breath because it sounds dope. So that's what I got in my bowl.
I don't think anybody else would have called it that. Got the own name. It's like going through your plug back in high school. What do you got today? I got some butter peanut breath. How you think?
Yeah, I'll probably got.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds great.
I'd be like, you got 2 ounces.
Yeah, right. I remember the first ounce I ever bought. It was in a dispensary, and it was the strain Red-Headed Stranger. And y'all, that was the orange hairs on that bud is some of the best. My first time I ever had bud in a mason jar, it was like my prize. You know, I felt like fucking Snoop at the time, right? You know, first ounce ever. Oh, and it's so good. Haven't had that strain since, but it was delicious.
The zip in the Ziploc. getting replenished every 28 days. And half the time, the plug would come in with a name. But I just find it so funny that the other half the time he'd be like, I have no idea what it is, but look at it. Doesn't it look good?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yep.
And
when we had the weird,
that would be the sell.
Growing up in Denver, we would have the older brothers that had med cards would get dispensary bud for their younger brother. So then you'd have you'd have the plug that didn't know, and then the plug that you knew had an older brother with a card. And so you could they'd have, I got this strain and this strain. And if you knew that plug, it was the plug to be with,
I remember upgrading plugs one time, finally getting the plug with options. I went from the one guy who was just, flipping the bag. And, he's on a hustle, that old school hustle where it's just like you get the eighth and then you sell it strictly at $10 grams and you're going to get it. Nah, this next guy, all of a sudden, he had 5 different options. And you said mason jars, bro. He opened his trunk, unzipped the bag, and they're sitting like 4 mason jars at a time. He's just like, what do you want? You want to smell this? Feel it? And it's crazy that I think about the health aspect to this, right? We used to grab the nug out the bag, look at it, smell it.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even lick it if the plug wasn't looking, just to see if we could get the taste, and then throw it back in the bag, and he'd go sell it to the next guy. They're so scared in dispensaries, bro. They're like, you can look at it through this magnifying glass into this.
Yeah. You can just daydream about it. Imagine it. Yeah, right.
Or you can look at it on the tablet screen. That's an accurate photo. We took those photos ourselves.
Yes.
I've heard the craziest
I know.
things.
I know.
Hey, I ain't trying to see you pick a nut. No. I'm trying to see what that nose on, because the nose, but it could look pretty all day, but it ain't smoking,
I miss the old days of dispensaries, though. They would have that. They'd have the mason jars you could pop open and smell them, and that was the good old days, man.
We were joking about what they call Cali tricks, bro, before the show, and it's really funny how we do know California is having some of the best za. They've had a market for a while. It's one of the few states where I'll refer to their cannabis as za because they kind of got a culture surrounding kind of like that. But when we're talking about these California tricks on it, it just kind of gets me thinking. A lot of this flower isn't what people think. They're not actually smoking exactly what they think. You brought up the nose, and this is what got me thinking about it. And I remember my first time on a Cali boardwalk, walking by, there was that. What was the vendor's name? Maybe I shouldn't drop the vendor's name, but regardless, guys, the boardwalk vendors in California are very hit or miss. They're great if you want some distillate carts for way cheaper than you'll get in the dispensary. The flower, my experience is the quarter I bought ended up having the bag sprayed with terps. They didn't want to spray the actual flower because people notice, especially outside of the hemp market where sometimes people don't notice. But they would spray the bags. They would spray the Mylars. That way, when you go to smell it, you're really hit with a pungent gas.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think too, like, I've been smoking weed since, good Lord, 2006. And like back in the day, California, like, there was a kind of a correlation with, yes, there was obviously good genetics coming out of the state. They were kind of leading the forefront with medical, legalization and stuff. So for a while, there was some reason behind the Cali hype. But then once like Colorado joined and Oregon joined and Washington and stuff, it became so much more about the grower than it did the Cali weed, And I think especially now with the hemp market and stuff, like you said, you're really seeing that on all sides, whether it's the medical side, the rec side, the hemp side, there are people that will cut corners, and you don't always know. Yes, there might be some more red tape. If you go to a dispensary, you're not going to worry about getting a moldy bud in the same sense you might through a plug or something. But there's still, you don't know what they're buying behind the scenes from a vendor that they might be labeling. You just, you never know.
You don't know. I mean, even a lot of people's first buying in a shop instances, you go over to Amsterdam, you walk into a coffee shop, and you see their board up behind them. Up until just recently, there was no legal purchase from those shop. Those shops could not legally purchase the weed they were selling you. They were allowed to legally sell it, but there was this whole catch-22 where all the bud was still coming from the black market. Was it really the strains up on the board? I mean, when you think about Barcelona growing culture, most likely, because most of the weed came out of Barcelona. And once they got a little bit more legality in Spain, guys, God, is the flower going to be good from there? It's going to be kind of wild. But does that happen in the dispensaries here? The dispensary, I mean, a lot of these testing facilities, yeah, they're government regulated, but they're working with government company. They're working with they're working with the dispensaries. They all popped up around the same time. The money sometimes tracks back to the same investors, investing both in the labs as in the dispensaries. It makes you question, can you trust that the lemon cherry gelato, I mean, if it's lemon cherry gelato, it's probably lemon cherry gelato, but can you trust that the cherry pie you're getting at the dispo really is cherry pie?
Right.
I still don't. I still don't till I smell it, but then even when I smell it, sometimes I'm hesitant.
Yes. Well, and I think it would be if cannabis could eventually be approached in such a normal frame of mind that it's almost like scrambled eggs. And here's what I mean by that, right? Like most people, if you're of a certain age, you know how to scramble eggs, right? You could grab a pot, some eggs, and scramble yourself some eggs. You can go to a restaurant and have breakfast food, have scrambled eggs, or maybe an omelet. Let's do an omelet, right? Make yourself an omelet at home, or go to a store. But it's just kind of a part of everyday life. Like, yeah, I get up, I'll make myself an omelet. I think if there could be a push, especially there needs to be an emphasis on this if it gets regulated, to grow at home, and an emphasis on like making that so destigmatized that everyone has the chance to do that, so much so that it's as normal as scrambling yourself an egg, you know, then it's like, yeah, if you want to go to a dispensary, sure. But like, you can also have chickens at home and control the entire process of your egg, you know, same thing. You can grow at home and then you have your strain that you know from seed to, you know.
Are they building the stigma into the law though? I almost worry, at least in the states that, mind you, federal legalization could change it all. Right. Because if this becomes federally legal, yes, unless said otherwise, state programs are null and void. Unless it states otherwise.
Right.
At least in my state and a couple other states that I have people in, I've lived in, you know, you got to grow it inside. Can't be visible to the road. Can't be in a window. $1.5 million restrictions, basically saying go ahead and grow a couple plants in your basement away from everything.
Yeah, I know there's. I'm trying to remember Colorado's. Like I know Arizona, it was you can have up to I think it's 6 plants total, 3 in veg and 3 in flower at any given time. But there's not a lot of specification that I know of like by a window or outside or that I'm not sure of.
It's like they're so afraid of a kid seeing the plant. It's like maybe the kids shouldn't see people abuse the plant, right? Like,
right.
But you can't be.
Kids can go to a restaurant and see someone abusing a beer. Like it's, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
that
again comes down to the responsibility of the parent. You know,
the parent downstairs can go grab that thing of Welch's grape juice and drop some bread yeast into it and leave that there for 3 months. Kid can grab it, take a cup of his grape juice and get thrashed. But guess what? There was no limitation to where homie was allowed to put his yeast juice, wine, whatever he wants to call it, hooch, in the house.
Yep.
It's just like put some individual responsibility on it, especially if a parent's going to be growing the plant. The parent should probably teach the kid why they're growing said plant, what the point to it is. Why?
Well, and if people really cared that much in government about children, you would not have doctors prescribing OxyContin to adults without here's where you have to go to take this pill. It's like, no, you can have it at home, you pop it on your counter, and it's up to the parent to keep that shit away from their kid.
Man,
the same thing with cannabis.
We talk about it almost every week. It's up to the guardian. Whatever you want to, you know what I'm saying, parent / guardian, the adult in the room at the moment. I don't give a fuck if it's your big brother.
Absolutely.
It is his duty as an elder to watch over the youth. And it got to be an elder, but an older one, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But just you know, it's the older people responsibility to watch over the youth. It ain't the people that drop the pack, man.
Yes. Well, that's
And
another
you
stigma that we have to
have
break too. Is like it's not irresponsible people that are taking the time to grow their crop. Yes, do you have some people that are mass growing to sell? Of course. But for the large part, people that take the time and attention and intentionality to grow from seed or clone through to crop,
Yeah.
to have that level of patience, right? They're not stupid. Those are the same people that are going to not only protect their crop but protect it from young people around. And that's a stigma. It's like we're not, you know, most of us embrace responsible use.
Yes.
We really do. Like
yes.
you can be productive on it. You can be an effective member of society, whatever that definition is for you. You can. It's not just, you know. I think as those stigmas break, hopefully, you know, people are like, oh yeah, we can grow at home, and it's not like you've got a fucking, I don't know,
Man,
a crack
at the
plant in
end
your
of the
house or
day,
something.
a plant is a plant.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, I don't think you should be growing cacao leaf, but I mean, you could be trying to
Right.
make chocolate,
Right.
some special chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
you know, I don't know. It at the end, it's a herb.
Right.
It's a herb. You can grow some oregano outside. You can grow poppy seed. Poppy seed make you feel a drug
Right.
taste. There gotta be something inside them little bitches. Even if you don't feel nothing, there's something inside of them.
Yeah. Nutmeg is technically a psychedelic if you could smoke enough of it. It'd make you really sick before you'd experience anything. I'm not saying do that. It's just
I heard
fact.
that. I heard like spoonful of nutmeg make you trip or some shit. I know some
I
group
think it's
ads
more
just
than
that
a
be looking
spoonful,
up
but
every possible
ugh.
drug that told me that. Like, bro, why do you know this, cuz? Go,
I'm doing
bro.
fucking
You don't even know how
Starbucks
to
emptying out
cook.
the nutmeg container. And fucking...
You don't even know how to cook looking for nutmeg.
Yeah, no shit, right? You're homeless. What do you need a nutmeg for, bro? Don't worry about it. Hey, on that
Bro.
note, y'all, I think we should take a hit. We haven't smoked yet, so I'm gonna take a hit. I'm gonna say cheers, everybody. Let us know in the chat. Yeah, Bud Stash says don't do it. That's right. Let us know what you're smoking on.
Nah.
Lord, yeah.
It's certain plants you grow and you just admire them.
Yeah.
You grow flowers, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
My grandma grow flowers. I
here's
know not to eat them bitches. They smell good, you know what I'm saying?
you
They
can
look
grow
pretty. I
salvia
know not to eat them, though.
in your backyard.
Huh?
You can go buy strains of salvia and grow them in your backyard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's case end point. I mean, ashwagandha, you can make your whole body go numb.
Yeah.
Case in
God,
point,
fucking
but
salvia.
like people can't are being told where they can, how they can grow this. As we've talked about on other weeks too, you can literally walk through the woods randomly and stumble upon a weed plant. Like it's hypothetically possible, depending on the climate and where you are, that there could be.
If you're anywhere near Ganja Bear's house, that'll happen.
Hey, go anywhere near Ganja Bear, there's a whole forest. Sometimes you think you're walking through sugar cane, and then you look a little bit higher, and there's just a bunch of top colas.
In like 5 years, there's gonna be like, there's a pandemic in Florida of cannabis plants growing up all over suburbia.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
because of
Ganja
you.
apple seed, bro.
Florida man
Hilarious. Yeah.
plants.
Florida man
5,000.
responsible for populating the Florida soil with 4,000 cannabis plants.
This is why he has a
wouldn't
seed
that be something?
operation.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Oh, that's too good though. Bud Stash said he's smoking on some pie till I die. Solid,
Hide seed. That
Pie
sound
till I die.
gas.
What is that?
That sound gas.
oh, that's the strain name,
I think so. Let's see. Oh, yes, it is.
huh?
From Green Team Genetics, it's Deadhead OG and Pine 95. Consumers can expect lemon, pine, and cherry terps to make their way into the
It ain't
mix,
no
making
pie.
for delicious flavor.
Ain't no pie coming off of that, bro.
She looking for a new strain. Interesting.
That sound like some gas.
Yeah, dude. Pine 95 is cherry pie and I-95. So there's a cherry pie lineage there.
Oh, you said Pi
Okay.
95, not I-95.
No, Pine 95. Yeah, yep. Then Deadhead OGs, Chemdog 91, and SFVOG Kush.
Now that's some
Solid.
gas.
I bet that's great.
Dude, that's some gas. What do you think?
Phenomenal.
That's probably some stank shit, bro. That's probably some funk pack, bro. That's
Yeah.
probably some junk in the trunk right there. Like, no cap, funk in the trunk.
It's got such a dessert name to end up being something kind of
It's
more, yeah, as you're saying, skunky,
rancid.
rancid. Or Ooh. Yeah, it's nice.
Bro, look, that's how I be though. I got this shit called Airheads, right?
Yeah.
Ain't shit sweet about that bitch right there.
Is that nice?
No
I wanted to
lie.
pick some of that up. I didn't get my hands on it. Yeah. I got
Stanky.
from that one place. I got the papaya punch coming tomorrow. I'm stoked.
I turned the papaya punch into snow caps and bro, I didn't need to. I don't know why I did. So that shit
I
smack.
wanted some of their smalls too, man, but we all know why those are gone fast.
Some places.
That's why I'm
no
more videos on said company. If I see somebody make a video on that said company, I'm coming to your crib and I'm letting you know how I feel.
Post 2 more. I want to test them because if said company can't pick up more supply, if they can't continue to have more supply for the demand, there's something wrong.
I mean,
and they need to be held accountable just like everybody else because it more than just getting the to the door.
They can be held.
They just got terrible ability to scale.
Who else?
It could be that, or there's some real issues that could be the reason that the people ain't able to get more stock. Yeah. Other companies having no problem as they get more popular having.
Well, I know they've had some. Product. They're very transparent about. At least they had to move buildings because their building got under new ownership and they got a notice to vacate. So I know they've been having some weird issues, and that probably correlated sometime around when they blew up through several avenues, including the community.
Yeah,
I think we should. One, anybody watching, if you want to get in on deals like this and companies like this, it's crucial you're in the Discord. So that's step one. But step two, I think we need to talk about maybe behind the scenes of having a tier process or some sort of. You want the really good deals, there's something extra that's got to happen. I'm not sure what that is yet because we've seen with this company, they're incredible price, incredible quality, but they have blown up in a way that may not be solely because of the joint effort community, but it definitely correlates with the news breaking out amongst the community and then them being sold out like nearly all the time. So
yeah, and if you know that. If you just know the price per quality, I don't care. Like, I hear people all the time like, well, this place is cheaper. I don't give a bro. Shut your ass, bro. This
fact. Yes.
This the gas, bro.
I have yet to find another one that's that price per quality. And if I do, I will tell you too, and I'm shut my mouth.
Yeah, I just feel like there's something.
Better, whoever you talking better.
Something in, I don't want to say sketchy, but at least in the gray area going.
Yeah, like maybe a joint effort Patreon or something.
On some of these other brands that were selling some absolute gas, that was definitely hot as far as testing would go. I'm not saying this company is hot because I don't really think so, but the ones that were, they would purposely have it so that they would sell out. They would only buy so much supply, know the exact profit margin, be ready for the next drop. And they do this so that there's never any packages being bought by people that they didn't want to buy it, because then only the passionate people buying right at the start, you know, all the orders are basically legitimate. It's a safety precaution that some more the gray level. I know some of y'all don't worry about it, right? I think we were blessed with an opportunity to have a legal market, and the people that are toying with the fact that we have a legal hemp THCA market and are risking it all for us and creating a bad perception. And this includes companies such as Cookies. This includes companies such as, what's the one, Stizzy, who came out here and said it was Delta 8 and you throw Delta 9 in the product. No, homie, like, that's awful. I know a lot of y'all are out there probably like, wow, that sounds great. That means the product's better than they were saying they was. This is not, no, you're really toying with a whole market. We got through a loophole, meaning that they want to take it away.
Yes.
So many people isn't in it for a cash grab. To be honest, everybody responsibly grew. Like companies talked about at the beginning. If they had genuinely done it, responsibly grown and put the money in the right categories, the legal battle would be funded on our side. The legal battle's not funded on our side. Nah, homies all got BMWs.
So true, though. Yeah.
It's fine. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mind throwing the news out there extra. This is the company. And then when the whole community is mad that they don't ever have stock, guess what? It's up to that company to get more stock. You don't get more stock, now it's an issue with me. Now there's something wrong because is your warning.
How we do got to consider though, if there is no, at least I have yet to see someone else matching price per quality. Maybe that is the reason for the low stock, is that they have limited vendors that can supply that quality at the price that they can profit from. You know, maybe in order for them to meet demand, they're gonna have to raise their price, and then it's not what it used to be. Maybe it can only be what it can be with limited supply. Could be that. You know, which then actually they're still not doing it correct, because economics says if you have limited supply, raise your price. So if they do have that limited supply, they should be charging triple.
They probably just got more. They probably try to space out the drops.
You grow it is you cut an arm off and you clone.
It's like every time you go to their website, they have a disclaimer at the top about something that's gone wrong. I think it is genuine, well-intentioned, piss poor management and scalability, like we see so often in this industry with these companies. You know, there are glorified plugs that became businessmen, sure, but then there are others that maybe were growers in the medical. I don't know. I know their history was they were another company before this. I don't know prior to that how they got into the space, but it seems like they need help, like several do.
I mean, there are plugs, plugs.
Yeah, right. Essentially,
in a mailbox now.
Like, right, and with the front-facing, facade company website, Yeah. But what's hilarious is this is in much the same way how dispensaries do it. You're just in a shop, like behind the scenes. Yes, there are dispensaries absolutely that will 100% control their own growth. They grow all their own product. There are also dispensaries that don't grow any of their product and just buy from surplus from other dispensaries.
Yeah.
So there's still, again, that's why, and I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I emphasize the right to grow at home. And, I hope with there's been a little bit of movement. Like, it's funny how Kamala Harris and Biden keep like doing these little subtle mentions of supporting legalization. They tweeted right at 420 on 420 apparently about it, but they're waiting for now the Department of Justice to weigh in on it. And it's like,
why?
Can we just fucking come on? Like, what?
What are you waiting for them to tell you?
That's not already been said in the HHS recommendation. Like, they went through with law enforcement even representation of why, and it's like the whole hearing on it. There was I forget the gentleman's name. He was an elderly man. He was a police chief in New York for years. He worked in law enforcement for like a 30+ year career, and he was like, "Yeah, this is ridiculous. This needs to be legalized." It's like,
bruh, honestly, bruh, police don't care about it. Only police that care about that junk now are the super old ones, the ones that just want to be upright and tight about it because they've been. It's been like this. Is a statement. But bro, any younger cop, bro, I know a lot of. Now I don't know none, but I know of a lot of cases in my life. I've been smoking. Police right next to my ass. They'll fuck around, be like, "That shit smell good." I mean, I live in an area of sorts, so I don't know. It's probably not like that everywhere, but
no.
I know a lot of people, they don't care, bro. They don't care. You're not hurting nobody. They have bigger fish to fry other than you getting fried. Like, they don't care.
For sure. Yeah.
As long as you're not riding around smelling like a pound in your car, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you walking around smelling like paper, it don't matter. It really.
Yeah.
They don't want you just riding around intoxicated. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if somebody would run a statistic on what percentage of the country, like what percentage of cities, I guess it would be, are decriminalized at this point. Or what percentage of the population lives in decriminalized areas. Like, one of those two statistics would probably be kind of mind-boggling, because I'm thinking in my state, even years before things were legal, right? A lot of the cities were decriminalizing the use of it, decriminalizing possession up to 7 grams or whatever their local legislation was, right? So in most of the world, cops are already being told you can't do nothing about people having weed on them. I mean, maybe they're busting the dude that got 2 pounds in his shirt, right? But
yeah, so there are 27 states total that have some sort of decriminalization law that is including states where it's medically in rec. And so that is 54% of the country. 54% of the country live in an area where it is at least decriminalized.
Man, the cop might tell you to put it out. in half the country, if not less,
if not more. Yeah, and depending on there might be a state that's right on the edge, and you run into that cop that used to be a stoner. It's like, hey, put it out and go home. You have one joint you smoked after work, or you know what I mean. You might have that little blend, and then you may have like Kansas or certain cops in Texas that are like, hey, you got a joint? Get in the back of my car. You'll have those people too, unfortunately.
Spark it.
Well, I feel like
you'd like to think that's a decreasing population, though.
Even completely decriminalized, people, bro, they still gonna try to hassle your ass with anything. If they want to hassle you, they gonna try to find a way to hassle your ass. It be bored people out there.
Yeah. Well, they just did a study. I think this was on Marijuana Moment. It was a large percentage of the population supports federal legalization and are surprised that it hasn't happened yet. I'm trying to find the percentage. I don't remember, but it was like 80% or something. It was wild.
When you think about everything as like an experiment and trial and error, I don't think any state's necessarily done it right, quote unquote, yet. So I don't think the Fed. I'm not so surprised the Fed hasn't legalized it. That we haven't seen any actual push in motion for it.
What do you think the right way to do it is?
Well, I just think the numbers prove how we've attempted, not necessarily are able to do what they set out to do. It can make quite a tax profit, but that's basically the only number you get. What you then also would stop getting is all of the over-the-border traffic from other states. I think that would drastically bring down numbers for what states make, because when we legalized it, we made nowhere near as much in our initial weeks in Connecticut as Massachusetts did.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they found a way to properly profit off of it, because people will, because once again, it's a plant and a consumable. They always find another way, another place to go get it instead of through you. At least in how we've currently tried to apply laws. I think they're trying a little too hard to make money off of it. And if they want to, they can't have percentages at 10% like they do in some states. They got it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that would play itself out in the market with, as long as people can grow. It's like, I'm not going to spend what I can do at home. And what's funny is, so if there's 27 states that are decriminalized, it means there's 23 that are not. And what's funny is, you're right. The implications, the kind of after effect of it being federally legalized, I think one market it's going to really affect is the real estate market. I mean, I saw, especially in Denver, I lived in Denver when before it was medical or rec, or before it was medical, during when it was medical, and then when it became rec. And it was so wild to see, once it was rec, how many people from other states would come to our dispensary, right? And then once it started getting legalized in other states, that happened less and less and less. You saw property drop a little bit, and then obviously COVID spiked everything, and the market's very wonky right now. But take 23 states where currently it's completely a crime to use and possess cannabis in any way. If those states, it's now federally legal, the real estate market in those states, I'd imagine, is relatively cheaper comparatively speaking to states where it's legalized. You're going to have people that maybe moved from those 23 states to states where it was legal, want to go home. The state that they're leaving is going to drop. The state they're moving to is going to rise, and it's going to kind of do a little bit of a even the market out. You would hope.
Even on property values over time, as they start to see places that can have indoor gardens basically get purchased at a premium, and usually in cash to make the deal close, as people will see their perfect setup in the new legal market. They will have to adjust those prices up. I mean, over time, I'm assuming no analyst is going to go to the property and be like, hey, look at this. This is where I think a stoner would grow a bunch of marijuana plants, plus 10,000 on property value. But once the property sells for cash value over its asking price a few times.
No, it would more be, I already have someone that already uses, that is either moving back to a place where they had to leave family because they wanted to use, or, something like that. And, you'd Yeah, it'd be interesting. You wonder what other kind of after effects legalization would have like that. Really makes you wonder.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean,
but here's the thing. On one hand, I mean, I partially understand why this is the case because not as many people still understand and know about the loophole that exists in the hemp market. But technically, you can get it in the mail almost anywhere now. But it's not as mainstream understood as it would be if it was federally legal. So that's why you're not seeing the market change the way you would. But it's just an interesting thought experiment. You wonder what else it would affect.
for sure. For sure. I mean, it would instantly affect most of these hemp companies.
Oh yeah. Like that.
I think there would be a scurry to get a license.
Yeah.
Instead of people standing tall, because you couldn't have two markets that directly were the same thing but didn't compete with each other.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
I feel like with a federal legalization, they got to address the farm bill, or the company.
Absolutely. You can't.
I mean,
Well, here's the thing, though. I'd like to say they can't federally legalize without understanding that cannabis and hemp, or marijuana and hemp, we say, are the same thing. But you see that kind of brewing where they may federally, regulate marijuana and keep it different than hemp, and that will be, in my opinion, one of the funniest, like, most comical things looking back at human history is like that. Just a documented lack of understanding of science. You know what I mean?
Somebody's like, "Yo, you want to go get some bud?" And you're like, "Yeah, there's 4 shops in town. There's one dispensary, a gas station, a chicken store, and then there's the hemp shop on the other side of town. Where do you want to go?" And it's just like,
right, yeah. It's all the same thing, but you actually can get the same exact strain, but you're going to pay this much here, this much here, this, it's like, it's just, so you hope that they address that. If they do, then yeah, there has to be like a grace period or something to get licensing or whatever they're going to call it.
did that bill go into place where farms had to choose to grow one or the other?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see if we can find out.
Because that would have, if a reminder, they tried to push on a federal basis that if you have a hemp farm or a cannabis farm, aka a marijuana farm, if you have one of in their eyes, right? Because it should be both. But if you have a farm growing hemp or marijuana, you have to choose to grow only hemp or marijuana by the interpretation of this bill, which is really funny. When, as we said, they're the same thing, so much of the time.
Yeah, so the last I could find on it, it does look like they started specifically for farmers that live in states where what we're gonna, for the sake of this article, cannabis is medical marijuana. In the states where cannabis is legal and they're also growing hemp, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has started going to those farmers and revoking their hemp licenses. So they can only grow medical cannabis. Yeah.
So what would happen? Because I thought about something really just now. I was going to say the other night, but really just now. What would happen if said company was to sell a pound of cannabis to a hemp company, and then the hemp company was to then go test it themselves and get it tested as hemp? Couldn't we reclassify it post-grow?
Okay, and this brings up an even a deeper conversation. If that's the case...
Like, just a hypothetical.
Dispensary. Hypothetically, if you went to, could there be a case where you go to a dispensary and test the bud, and it is actually, from a testing standpoint, hemp?
Yes.
Because then we have a problem.
And
that's got to be happening. You'd imagine, right? Like,
dude, your plug just probably sold you. Everybody out there, your plug probably just sold you hemp. That's wild.
Yeah, and then you take it one step further. That then people that have been busted for possession, anything they've possessed, unless they took their decarbed bud and put it in their pocket, they were possessing THCA flower, and it's that blows my mind. Even if it's over the 0.3, it's still majority THCA.
It's like if a hemp So then we start to look at the farms that choose, let's go grow hemp instead. That's the power move, right? That decide tax benefit or whatever reason they decide to fight with it wouldn't make, but they do. Okay, but so they start doing so. Let's say they were to grow a bunch of products that ended up accidentally being marijuana. Then they would have to dispose of said product.
Right.
But let's say somebody grabbed all the bags of the disposed product. Now it's marijuana. Can they go legally sell that in a marijuana dispensary?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because
can they sell that garbage? Because technically the government said this is garbage. We would have all smoked it as THC. But let's just say the bud ends up somewhere, because this happens a lot with consumables in general. So not just marijuana. It happens with avocados all the time, right? They just like show up by the ton somewhere. So if all of this disposed of flour, which by the way, I'm not sure how you're supposed to dispose it without burning it, and they're told they can't burn it because then it would be regardless. So all of this disposed of flour is going to go somewhere. It's not going to just disappear. We don't shoot it into space.
And let's even say they have a way to dispose. They have like a big plumbing toilet. They just dump all their bud in and flush it, right? Let's just say, for example's sake.
Yeah.
What a fucking terrible business model that's put in place because of the law, right? Hi, essentially, okay, so you want to grow hemp, okay? Even though sometimes naturally occurring in this plant you're going to have over 0.3 delta 9, if the natural process does that, that is a crop you have to toss because it is not compliant with the law. So at any given time, maybe 50, probably 30 to 50% of your inventory of your product you're producing, you have to immediately toss in the garbage. There should at the very least be enough of an understanding of science that lets farmers that grow hemp, if they have something that's not compliant, a way they can sell it to dispensaries to still profit on their product, and vice versa. If a dispensary is owning a grow and they have crops that come out that are technically hemp, one, are they still selling it in their dispensary?
Or do they got to dispose of it?
Or do they have to dispose of it? Because if not, I'd argue that's bullshit. And there should be a mechanism for both to cross-sell their non-compliant products to each other.
But then what happens with... So dispensaries are allowed to sell CBD, right? Like some people like need the CBD for their medicine or their recreation instead of THC. That would have to come from a hemp farm. And now from a legality standpoint, through this little quick mental thought exercise where you end up having to sometimes throw away half of your inventory that you work so hard to grow because there was a little extra sunlight during a 3-week period of time that you couldn't stop. Now there's no hemp farmers. They all went and started growing cannabis. CBD is gone from the United States because right now there's a massive overstock. But like CBD would be gone in probably 10 years, at least any good shit. Like unless you're growing it on your natural own, shit, but people growing it in their house. But like again, you're only allowed 6 plants, 3 in veg, 3 in their adult phase.
Right.
For example, I know some people have it better phrased terminology in their states, and congrats to you actually understanding how old your plants are allowed to be. But I'm not going to use one of my 6 for a CBD plant.
No. And I'd argue most people wouldn't, and I mean, it's weird, right? There's a few ways that they can work that out, where it's like if you just completely say, okay, we understand the loophole and we understand that this is all the same thing and these are just minor percentage differences that we're calling for the same thing, then you have the issue of, okay, how do hemp companies and dispensaries go under the same umbrella of red tape so that it's fair game, and what does the grace period look like? You could have the other scenario where they continue to not understand it, and that's like, okay, well then you at least have to put some mechanism in place for dispensaries and hemp farmers to cross-sell non-complicit product to each other.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's like then farmers are going to be naturally incentivized to want to grow cannabis, because it seems right now if your cannabis still tests as hemp, you can still put it in your dispensary. But if your hemp tests as cannabis, you got to get rid of it.
Yeah,
and that's horseshit.
In those states, I bet a lot of the CBD flower is coming from a marijuana farm.
Yeah, right.
Just a theory. I mean, you can prove me wrong if you want to, people. I'd like to be wrong on that and have a little bit more hope, but like that's
right.
How I see it. It's insanity, to be honest. It's I don't know if I'd even classify it as okay. It's
well, one way that you could see this going is it's not federal legalization, but it's almost like a backhanded version of it, is just completely giving the ability up to the states to decide. It can be legal, like almost like the federal government doesn't care and our hands are off. And then let each state act as a free market. And you want to go to a state where it's fully legal? Great. You want to go to a state where it's not? Great. Which, I mean, you kind of have now with the medical programs and whatnot, but it's like, but then you have the issue of like Texas, where on paper, yeah, we're a medical marijuana state. But if you understand the dosing, it's not helpful at all unless you're a millionaire.
I mean,
it's crazy.
That's all the federal government's role is, right? There might have been a point in time, and somebody brought up the theory that we as citizens don't always know anything. Maybe the war opportunity that was arising due to marijuana was so high at a point where it made sense for the Fed to step in. That's when the Fed's supposed to step in, is when the states cannot control something because it would be good for general public to know, etc. But that's not the circumstance right now.
No.
It doesn't mean that in some states they don't have problems that we don't understand where we are.
Sure.
I am not somebody to say that Missouri has to have legal cannabis. I would love for us all to be on that same understanding that this is just a plant, but maybe it causes too much crime in your area somehow. Like, I hate that argument because 90% of the time it's fabricated and fake, but who am I to say something that somebody in Missouri is saying is fake, right? So make it legal, federal government, but then you can add your little stipulation to make your hands clean, saying that and states have the right to decide to which extent, if at all.
True. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
The Fed doesn't need to be involved.
Right. Yeah.
I guess they originally were for cross-state issues, right? Is mainly why they were. But now, most of the time, it's border states that legalize. When states around your state start legalizing it, you kind of are pushed into it.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the other thing that we see is it's kind of a slippery slope. Like at some point, it feels like it's going to reach this point of totality almost where it's like every state is starting to understand, like, I mean, I forget, I couldn't find the survey, but it was between 75 and 80% of the American public are surprised that there's not been any federal legalization movement in any big way over the last few years. And it's kind of, I think especially over the next 10 to 15 years when the generation that was really responsible for like the reefer madness propaganda is in their last stage, it will be interesting to see. I think it's a very generational thing. So I mean, I hope that there's good traction on it, but like Jerry, to your point, there is probably a reason behind why there's not. You look at all these little things they have to try to work out, and the government's going to want to get their money and get their take on it. It's like, how do you do that when you have this like increasingly growing loophole of the same fucking thing? But if you're in Colorado, you want to open up a shop, you got to pay out the ass and go through all this red tape. If you're in Texas, you want to open up a hemp shop, pay a couple $100, get a hemp cultivation license, and bam, there you go. It's like, how do you handle that? So it'll be interesting.
We have an interesting year,
yeah, really. Especially by the end of the year, it'll be very interesting to see if this changes at all.
Will they start having the discussions before September? Right. A lot of people have that question, So in September, again, because they keep pushing it back, mainly because they don't discuss it. The Farm Bill
I bet they're going to push it back after the election.
I bet they're pushing it back, right? Make it the next guy's problem. Yeah,
because I think both parties are going to want to use that, and I think we'll see that in the next weeks and months leading up to the election on both sides of their aisle. to push their campaign. And so I think it's, and I could be so wrong on this, but I think it's maybe they're stalling. There's a reason that the DOJ is stalling. There's a reason, there's this kind of push and stall and push back the farm bill. Let's look it over later. And then, I don't know. It's like you could see either party getting into office and then legalizing it as a way to be like, look what we did. You could see someone coming into office and blaming the past president and being like, we don't have time to deal with this because of X, Y, and Z other crap we have to get to because of what this dude did. So it's like, it's just going to be interesting to see how they use it, without getting too political. It's just going to be interesting. See how both sides might manipulate that.
And that's what they do.
Oh, yeah. Yes. You're already seeing it, Yeah. I mean, Biden and Kamala tweeted on 420 at 420 about it. She had Kamala Harris, we touched on the podcast the other week. She had that private meeting with people where she was talking about we have to do something about this and we have to push for legalization.
All the part.
My whole fucking thing is like, then do it. Then
right.
Fucking do it. Like, you're there. You have, you've got the power to go, like.
I mean, yeah.
And I mean, what do I know?
Fuck. Two people in the world that, if they were very passionate about it, could actually
could do something about it.
Say,
right?
I think they could push an executive order. I know they want to push it through the House and Senate, but it's been too long at this point, right? That's why you had to pardon all these people. That was your argument for why you had to pardon all these individuals. Is it's been so long that these people have been unjustly served. So if that's the true case,
how can you acknowledge the unjust for that, but not the overall unjust? Yeah, agreed.
Call out one of your senators.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of a good one.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, whoever's from Massachusetts, it was legal for a long, long time. Call on him to help make the legal bill. Everyone keeps copying the Massachusetts model. I'm not a fan of it because Connecticut copied it, and now I have a high tax on my flour. But a lot of the nation keeps copying it, so hit dude up and say, hey, a lot of people like your product or your bill or your program. Can we copy it on the federal level? Yep. Everything's supposed to just be an experiment that can be revised later. I know we suck at the whole revised part that the founding fathers intended, but maybe we'll figure that out, especially on a brand new market where you have to do a few revisions. Yep.
Frank says, good morning. So hungover. Ganja Bear looking like me.
Bro, you don't need no dog. I'm out of it. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
That's hilarious. Cheers, y'all.
I got 2 cooked last night, bro. And I'm still feeling the aftermath.
Last night was...
I'm gone.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I did a little stream last night. I hadn't done a stream in a long time, so I went in pretty hyped. A lot to talk about, but I feel like I barely talked. I just basically kept smoking. Went in with 3 small joints rolled. I kept packing bong rips in between, hitting the pen over and over again. Basically smoked for an hour straight. There was this one point where somebody said, smoke that joint in one pull, and I think I got through maybe 60% of it. I'm not sure how it was pretty cool, actually.
I'm
Never
mad
done something like that.
I was supposed to go live again, bro. But I got high.
Yeah, I was gonna go live yesterday too, and that didn't fucking happen. Or maybe I'll go live today.
I thought I was gonna go live at 11 in the morning.
Yes.
And then I ran around the house 17.5 million more times with grocery shopping.
Yes.
Ran a couple errands. Yeah. People say nice freestyle. Ganja, did you drop more music?
I don't know, bro.
Maybe.
Maybe, bro.
So we got a couple things to go over before we leave here today. We want to make sure we spend a good little moment on this. So first of all, giveaways. Sorry, everybody. Let's figure some of that out right now. So you still have the Liddy Log one? Is that one this
Bro, I
week
still
too?
got the Liddy log. I ain't smoking no
Okay,
420.
so that was
dirty.
the burger conversation. We got to pull the burger winner.
Yeah. We got to pull the burger winner. The burger winner cup, I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. That 10 G's out the window, bro. I'm gonna be so real. It ain't work how I thought it was gonna work out, man. But your boy always has some extra incentives for the waiting.
So
you know what I'm saying?
It's Liddy log and 10 grams. We'll talk about the 10 grams afterwards to make it.
Heck yeah.
So that they get 10 grams.
Nah, I'm gonna get the ad right. I'm gonna get the ad right.
Okay.
Get the ad right. It ain't gonna be like them 10 G's.
Then how many other weeks did we miss?
You gonna get just the specialist 10 G's, huh?
How many other ones did we miss?
I mean, them was supposed to be together. So, really only 2. If you want to count this week. I mean, well, no, there's only then 1.
Yeah.
Because them 2 was together. And the week before that, we ain't even had one, I don't think.
Okay. I want to get somebody some king palms. We all keep talking about king palms so often.
Oh, yeah, bro. I got hella king palm to send out.
Oh, yeah.
One of us can send them out. I was looking at the prices on the... Oh, he's willing to send out his grinder to you. Okay, we're gonna let that... The grinder's mad nice, bro. The grinder is mad nice.
I don't know, bro. You got it. I'm not using this shit, bro. I know how to roll, bro. I don't need this shit. Like, I don't know. Got some king palm incentives that could definitely be
Who do we got in the live chat? Do we got people here today? Did anyone stick around to the end? Because you are going to be the people who are going to be able to enter this king palm giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
What should we have? What should we ask the people here live today? Contra Bear. Favorite rap? Should we stick to the rap section?
You already asked the favorite rap.
Oh, we've already asked. We already know the answer, so yeah, we can.
Maybe we ain't asked. I mean, nah. I don't know. It's a good one. What's your favorite soda? I don't know.
Have you had a king palm? If so, favorite flavor?
Yeah.
Let's go with that one. Let's keep it king palm. Anybody who is here, what is your favorite king palm flavor if you've had a king palm flavor?
The best king palm flavor, in my opinion, cookies and cream, bro. Palm wrap, cookies and cream palm wrap. That shit.
I haven't had that one. I've only had like 2 or 3, so I have a limited use. But I like the blueberry ones that I had. They reminded me of these old wraps back when I smoked blunts in high school. They reminded me of these blueberry wraps I used to get. They taste so similar. So I'm a sucker for those for sure. Yes, sir.
The blueberry.
Bro, holy shit.
We got
yes, sir.
20 entries. I'm just double checking I didn't enter anyone twice. Didn't miss anyone. This is back on the burger question, bro. So this is coming down to the Liddy log. Are we ready to see who wins?
I'm ready to see who wins. Are they ready to see who wins? Not ready.
Oh.
Bruh. Oh, man. Michael 420, congratulations.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
420, bro. Word. Who do we have here in the live contest? We got Frank. Bro, we got Frank. Was there Evan? We only got one answer on there, bro. I think we're going to end up sending it to Frank unless somebody else enters.
Okay.
Frank, here you go.
All right, y'all. So
All right.
that wheel's ready to be spun. There's a lot of suspense on this one, everyone. Let's see who
I don't know who's gonna win, you guys.
A lot of entries on the King Palm giveaway.
Oh, I should go enter just for shits and gigs.
Giveaway yet, type shit. I can't believe it, bro. That was so
close.
close.
Damn. That was so close.
I didn't think he was going to win.
Bro.
Bruh.
I'm shocked, honestly. Did not think he was going to pull it off.
That was like fourth quarter. No, not even fourth quarter. Double OT game 7 type suspense right there. That was...
You don't see nail biters like that every day.
No, that was big. That was big time right there.
Jordan in the 90s.
So shout out Frank. We're going to be getting a little bit of King Palm thing. Could have probably done that a little bit better, but guess what? You ended up with a nice little Mars grinder. So you're the big winner. Thank you for being here live, homies. Mm-hmm. As far as what we're going to be doing next week, I see somebody commented in the Discord reminding me that last week I had asked when we were trying to figure out how to get back on track. So now we're back on track, and you're going to be the first entry for next week. I asked what was the highest you had ever been, and he had given a good story. So here's pretty much what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to drop in the Discord, join it, talk with everybody too, because, that's part of what you do. But also go to the weekly giveaway section and type a story like this. Mine was the first time I smoked. He said he was 12-year-old. Wow, 12, bro. Damn. Hang out with them older teens back in the wild 80s. Might have been more than Bud, because he took 2 hits, ran into a tree with his bike, broke his nose, and knocked out cold.
Yeah,
dang, Sticky, and you still smoke? I don't think I would have ever smoked again if that was my first time. Damn. Yo. Y'all gonna continue celebrations today?
Huh?
Are you continuing your holiday celebrations today?
Bro, every day the holiday celebration, bro. Every day I wake up, my breathing, my eyes open, and my... Man. Hey, man. Every day a celebration.
I see.
I ain't gonna lie, I gotta let myself reset though. I ain't smoking for like probably another hour.
No.
I'm just smelling it, just getting a whiff. Looking at it. I don't want to smoke, dog. I want to smoke, bro. I just feel like I could feel my receptors just overloaded right now. I just feel a fucking just chunk of THC in the brain just sitting there.
You just got a fucking diamonds just globbed onto your brain, bro.
For real, bro.
Ugh.
I think that we should give away for next week.
Next week we won't be here.
Oh, bro.
What's it
I damn near always got an 8 to some J Liddy to give away. I always got
there you go.
Yeah, but everyone keeps asking about rosin, so I was trying to see who got rosin. Typically, a cart in stock.
Who got rosin money on this plant?
Was it Jam and Hempco? Do we want to go give some love to somebody? Didn't they relocate and everything?
I think so.
Oh, they based out my city, bro. Come on, Jam and Hempco.
No, they stayed in.
Oh, they did.
Did they say? Did they leave? Did they stay or did they go now?
I thought they left, but I could be wrong.
Bro, no, Jam and Hempco was playing. Yeah, they left. They left.
Plus
it was in like North Carolina,
but they're all sold out. Huh?
Something like that.
They're all sold out.
So I know a company that got $100 for live resin mixed with rosin and carts. You can get one for $35 each, but they 0.5s. And they got rosin mixed with resin, $35 each.
Interesting.
It's cheaper than copping a normal car, really.
Yes, I've talked about it a lot on it.
I got a lot of concentrate to give away though. Like if somebody wants some crumble isolate, I'll just cop the whole another zipper some isolate. So I'll give away some isolate.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm kind of debating on copping another zipper sugar. So I might just fuck around, mix some bitches up, make some. I be calling it face fucker, cuz when I mix the isolate with the crumble, that shit make your face melt, bro. I tell you.
Oh, I bet, homie.
Okay. Otherwise, in case of emergency, I'm sending Dab Dad the logins to the joint effort account, which means that you have the logins to my account. So don't delete everything, man.
I got you. You are in good hands, homie.
Because next Sunday,
you come back and everything's gone.
Again, the potential that I'm not going to be here.
Yes. I'm going to turn it actually into a multi-level marketing scheme.
Oh, my God, bro.
Selling phone cards.
Phone card. Why not just like make them? Why has no one made the THCA pyramid scheme yet? Bro, like you can go around and sell THCA to all of your friends, and then all of your friends can sell THCA to all of their friends, who can sell THCA to all of their friends, bro, and you're gonna get a percentage of all of the profits.
Dude, there was a big, I forget the name of the company. There was a massive CBD supplier that did that. It was so bad. You could sell CBD, and then you had a team, and you made a percentage of everyone in your team, and then they made it. It was.
We don't do it for essential oils anymore or fruit capsules.
Yes.
No, bro, we're doing it with weed.
Yeah. We moved on from crystals and oils. Now we're doing it with cannabis. Yeah.
T-Mobile, Trap Mobile.
Bro, can you imagine? I'm picturing the phone calls in a couple of years, yo. Hey, Jerry, you'd be perfect, man. You'd be perfect. You already are in the cannabis space. You have a lot of people you talk to. You're passionate about it. You probably already help people sell. You know what you should do, man? Join my team.
Bro, listen. So come out with me, bro. Listen. See that? That's my Corvette, homie. You in 6 months, you can if you grind, bro. You can have one of those.
What's that giant logo? What's the giant logo on the side of it? That's the opportunity. That is the opportunity that will change your life.
Why do you still have a dealer tag? Oh, bro, don't worry about that, man. Just don't worry about that. Is this a rental? No, bro.
I thought I saw this property on Airbnb 2 weeks ago. Yeah. You said there would be free pizza. Where the hell is the pizza?
Yeah, right.
It's coming. I promise you. You got just listen for a moment first.
Man. Yeah, right. Oh God.
There's no drinks? You said it was a party.
Yeah.
Did you hear it's about cannabis and he didn't even pass out a joint? No one was even smoking.
Cannabis meeting. Can you imagine? Oh, Lord.
Coming soon, guys. This is what the joint effort was made to be.
Oh, good Lord.
Let me just let y'all know that was a joke.
Yeah.
That was indeed a joke. I will definitely not make a giant pyramid scheme out of the server where I become
you have
very rich.
At least 2 people that have been in the belly of that beast before. Good Lord. We've seen it. We've seen both sides, haven't we, Jerry?
I made money.
Good Lord. Yeah. Oh, bro.
Like I wasn't somebody I was gonna go lose when I did a pyramid scheme. I sadly succeeded, and that meant that people under me, when you build your pyramid, somebody loses.
That's how a pyramid is. A pyramid ain't even.
That's how.
Bro, what you trying to be? You trying to be a pyramid scheme or a square scheme? They don't need nobody square scheme. Everybody went in with the square scheme.
Yep.
They're all trapped inside the box, and no one thinks outside of it.
Yep. No, yeah. It's hilarious. No, we will never be a pyramid scheme. Thank you very much.
No.
No.
Nobody has enough money to offer 6.7 million me to do that.
True.
I don't even got enough. I don't even got enough brain capacity to think of that much.
You just edited that number in there, by the way. The replay just had me say a number that would coincidentally be the number to make me turn this into a pyramid scheme if anybody wanted to. But like,
Jerry's like, I'm not a sellout under $6.1 million.
6.7.
6.7.
Yeah,
You can 6.7, and then that's it.
The 600,000 are a big difference, bro. Like,
Hilarious.
She fixed it. Yeah. Fucking don't work.
Yeah.
Please ain't worried about that shit. Though.
With that, though, guys, what a wonderful week. Happy to have caught up a little bit on the giveaways. Everybody who's winning, make sure to hit up. Ganjaberry's got
thanks for the patience, Dre. I really
address. Yeah, thanks for the patience, for real. We had some weird weeks here. Weird weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
For real.
Might not be a pyramid scheme, but it is slowly turning into much more of a business with a lot of moving pieces and time that needs to be committed to it. So we've cleaned it up, though. We've cleaned up a lot, and you should see a whole lot more engagement actually on the server, too. We got some big plans. The website seems to have taken like a back page, but it's basically ready to go. The domain name ended up expiring, and somebody ended up buying it. So I'm just gonna figure fun stuff.
Wonder if I know who that is.
Until next time, yeah. Whoever bought the domain name, you can also send me a message because I don't want to figure out another one.
Later, you guys.